When I graduated university, or college, in 1969, I really had no idea what I wanted to be when I grew up, and my life has evolved. After working for West Virginia Department of Highways, I went to work for American Electric Power in New Haven, West Virginia, and my mother called me and she said, "There's a job position open in Shippensburg, why don't you interview?" So I thought, well, I'd like to move home. So I called. It turned out it was Ingersoll Rand Company, who had just relocated from West Caldwell, New Jersey to Shippensburg with their compaction division. The applications engineering job tied very well to my previous experience because being a geologist, I understood materials quite well. And in the compaction industry, all we're doing is dealing with materials, soils and aggregates, and changing their volume relationship. The product line we were building was light compactors, upright rammers, plate compactors, small walk-behind rollers, and a line of single drum vibratory compactors, as well as one model of small double drum compactor. When I started with Ingersoll Rand in 1974, we had a small product line because we were a small business. But we were developing products that were quite interesting, some of which hold a special place in my heart and mind. As example, the DA30, a small double drum vibratory compactor, and the DA50, a large double drum vibratory compactor. We actually showed both of those machines at the Roadshow in Chicago in 1975. Roadshow is the predecessor to what we call ConExpo today. So those two machines put Ingersoll Rand Compaction Division on the map. They were great sales successes, and they set standards in the industry. As example, the DA30 was the first vibratory compactor to have high frequency, 4,000 vibrations per minute, which is an industry standard. In 1982, at the AED, Associated Equipment Distributors Convention in Chicago, I was approached by a representative of BOMAG, which was a German company headquartered in Springfield, Ohio, to come to work for them, or at least to interview for a position with them. And I pursued that. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse, so I started working for BOMAG USA in 1982. I was employed by them as a product manager and also as the manager of marketing communications, responsible for trade shows and advertising and all the supporting of the product in the field, until I left BOMAG to come back to work for Ingersoll Rand in 1997. Over the years, as we evolved, my role changed and I became more engaged in supporting the field sales organization with customer visits and conducting training on best practices for both paving and compactors. My first role was to re-engage the business with the industry, particularly in North America, so I became a liaison between Volvo Construction Equipment Shippensburg and the associations that are involved in paving and construction, primarily in North America. A very common theme that I always cover when I make presentations is best practices, because I find that we often skip the simple things because we're so involved in complexity. But keeping it simple is generally the best practice. So I go out to teach about how to set up and operate pavers and compactors for best results. It's a common thread that we try to take shortcuts in our industry. We're trying to save time and/or money. But I've learned, and I try to pass on to those with whom I speak, the reality is taking those shortcuts actually costs time and costs additional money, so don't take shortcuts. I never fail to mention safety. Safety is our #1 priority. In truth, too many people die as a consequence of inattentive drivers in road construction zones, for example, so I always preach safety on site. I've been engaged in this industry for just short of 50 years. 50 years ago, almost all agencies had specifications which were prescriptive, method specifications. They told the contractor how to do the job, and then they paid him when he did it. Today, we find ourselves with performance specifications or end result specs. And those specifications enable a contractor to do best practices to get best results and therefore be profitable. That saves the taxpayer money, it saves time, and it reduces the opportunity for accidents. I hope that my legacy will be one of honesty and integrity, that I'd always given people the best knowledge that I'd gained either personally by hands-on, learning by making mistakes, for example. Some of those mistakes caused my hair to turn gray. Some of those mistakes caused my hair to fall out, but nonetheless, I've profited from those mistakes, and I try to share that with the people with whom I interface. Being selected for this honor by the Associate Member Council of National Asphalt Pavement Association brings me into a very, very special club of men, and I'm just honored to have been selected.